I didn't start making this game because I wanted to make an Egyptian horror game. Actually, I tried really hard not to. Egyptian mythology has been part of my life since I was a kid. Movies like The Mummy, The Prince of Egypt, those were some of my earliest obsessions. My family even calls me Ra as a nickname. So when I finally decided to make a game, I thought maybe that's too obvious. Maybe that's just me projecting my childhood. But the more I avoided it, the more it kept coming back. And then something funny happened. My girlfriend, without knowing any of this, asked me one day, "Why don't you make something set in Egypt?" That was the moment it clicked. Not modern Egypt, not pyramids and curses, but the Amarna period, the moment where gods were being erased, where fate turns into something unstable, a place where even the divine feels political. In my last video, I talked about the Temple of Ptah, a god of creation, order, structure, but before the player ever reaches that temple, they have to cross something far more primal. Before the first temple, there is a river, and it isn't red because of war, it's red because of punishment. And I didn't want the player to understand it immediately. I wanted them to feel it, because sometimes horror isn't a monster, it's a rule, a world that has already decided what you deserve. The river is the game's first sentence, and it says, "This world will punish you, and it won't ask if you deserve it." In Egyptian mythology, Sekhmet is a goddess of war and punishment. She isn't sent to reason. She's sent when the gods decide humanity has gone too far. And once she's unleashed, she doesn't stop. That's the part that stayed with me, not because it's violent, but because it's certain. The myth doesn't frame Sekhmet as evil. She was doing exactly what she was made to do: punish. The mistake wasn't her rage, it was the certainty. Because certainty is what makes punishment feel holy. It removes doubt, it removes mercy, and when gods are certain, humans become collateral. The gods had to trick her. They dyed beer into the river to look like blood. Sekhmet drank it, and only then the killing stopped. Not because of mercy, but because she was made to sleep. And this is where fear and hunger quietly affected my approach. Fear and hunger didn't just inspire Nimaat, it changed how I think about player discomfort. Not because it's unfair, but because it makes you doubt yourself. It teaches you that the scariest feeling is hesitation, that moment where you're about to act, and you're thinking, is this a mistake? Will the game punish me for this? That's the emotional space I wanted, not to copy a dungeon, but to recreate that tension inside a myth about punishment. So in Nimat, menus feel physical, animations take time, combat doesn't rush you. I want the player to hesitate, to feel the weight of every interaction, because the horror isn't only what you see, it's what the world assumes about you. The river is the first warning, before combat, before hunger, before sanity starts sleeping. It tells you something without words. This world will punish you. And the real question of the game becomes, what do you do when punishment is treated like justice? Nimat isn't about defeating gods, it's about surviving the certainty and asking yourself how far you'd go for someone you love. I'm going to keep sharing this world as it takes shape. More gods, more places, more things that probably shouldn't exist. If you want to follow Nimaat as it grows, the devlogs, the lore, the art, and the systems behind the horror, you can subscribe. And if you have thoughts about Sekhmet or punishment, I genuinely love to read them in the comment section. Thank you for being here.